Now you got the recorded in progress, he said this.
Yeah,
Is recording for you as well?
yeah, I'm recording too.
Ah, okay, okay. So I had to write it down. Um, so this is about, oh, well, first of all, hello, Andreas, how are you doing?
Hello, hi. Nice. I'm doing good. Yeah. How are you?
Thank you. Fine. Thank you for this meeting.
Good.
So I have a few questions that actually relate to the stories
Yeah.
uh, uh, about therapies. So, they say in India, they say that the me appears between a year and a half and 2 years old. This, the me, the child starts talking about itself, like with the name, I am doing this or that. Before that age, it says, it refers to itself like a third person,
Yeah.
like Andreas would say, Andrea is coming or wants to eat or whatever, not about I want to eat, but Andreas or Adriana wants to eat. No, so in third person, and in the I study many different therapies, among which rebirthing, and
I
I have seen,
I,
yeah,
I did rebirthing
you
for
did.
2 years, yeah.
You work with it, or you went through a session?
No, it's more than 20 years ago. I
Uh-huh.
went to a lot of sessions.
Oh yes, yes, because it's more than once.
Yeah.
So okay, great then. So you probably I discovered things about my life, through not exactly through rebirthing, but through breathing that I made up,
Hmm.
and I witnessed, a conversation. I was in my mother's womb, and I could witness a conversation between my mother and her sister, and I saw how I took a decision based on that conversation.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah, I decided not to cry and not to bother anybody. So I was a baby that it was like, and tears would come out down, but no, why, no, nothing like that. And all my life I was, wondering why did I do this, and then I saw that. But my question goes like, is the those imprints? I mean, the me appears later in life, like 2 years, 2 years. You also said that times many times, and Jim and others. Um, but the imprint is that is in a cellular, the imprint that happens while we are in the womb, or the first years of life. The imprints are in the cellular memory and the physical um, body without a me.
Yeah, yes, exactly. One could say. So I don't know about cellular, but it's
Yeah,
somehow imprinted in the body. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And
and they,
that
yeah,
doesn't need a me. That's just functioning. It's biology.
yeah. So those imprints then come out in life, by with stories, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe a physical happening, or maybe, like I also work with hypnosis. So I had a woman that uh, had fear of hate already, elderly person, and she said, she was already working on herself for that. And so she came for a session, and we discovered that it was something that went on when she was 4 months old. So, but it was something psychological, you would say. But yet the imprint of the fear was from when that age, 4 months old. And then once we were, the fear went away. She was able to do things. So my question is like, are these completely stories? You know what I'm saying? Like the me making up stories, or is a mixture of uh, the
No,
imprints in the body mind and the life?
well, I would say these imprints, they are what seems to be happening. They just are the natural reality. And the only dream would be that they are real and that they are happening for someone.
Yes, because there is no one anywhere anyway.
Exactly. There is no one. And
Yeah.
that she started to become interested in that is what seems to be happening. And that she could see what seems to have happened in the past is what seems to be happening. And that it stopped happening after that also is what seems to be happening. Absolutely. Oh, yes. The only dream is that it's personal and that someone is closer to fulfillment because this collapsed, this fear or this past thing ended. That's all. The rest is just the timeless appearance, which
So
contains past and present and future.
so this is like I always already long ago, no, I thought, well, there's nothing to be done, no one to be doing anything, even this conversation, you know. So the only thing is left is just to live, and do whatever you're doing because it's not you that you're is doing it. It's happening.
Yes, which isn't the only thing that's left in sense of a conclusion, or that is how to live now. That's what's already happening anyway.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. There is nothing else than what seems to be happening. And this includes you living your life, me living my life, which no one is doing. That's just how it is, what there is. And it completely doesn't matter what we do. We can be interested in childhood things as long as we want. We can completely not be interested in childhood things. It's just what happens.
Nothing to do.
Nothing, it's just never personal, and it will never fulfill someone. You can
So
do
there's
your
the
childhood as long as you want. You will never become someone who arrives or becomes fulfilled because it's already whole and complete all the time.
yeah, yeah.
With a fear, sorry, with a fear, it was whole and complete. When the fear dropped,
It's all I'm
it's still whole and complete. Yeah,
fantastic, no?
it's gorgeous, gorgeous,
Yes.
and so
So
different from what the me thinks.
what would be then the difference in having a me and not having a me?
Well, the difference is only an appearance. You will never find the real difference. You'll never find a real difference, but apparently, in the appearance, when there is a me, there is seeking, there is taking things real, there is an apparent suffering from that. And when the me collapses, that's not there anymore. But either way, it's whole and complete. And either way, it doesn't fulfill a me. That just doesn't happen. That's not provided.
So this whole thing about there being a me or believing that there is a me, the difference would be the contraction, the contracted energy that actually takes it personal,
Yeah.
whatever is going on.
This not being there.
There's not need of coherence then. You don't have to make the effort to be coherent on what you say and think and what you do because it's happening anyway.
Exactly. Everything is coherent already. It's not something that one needs to achieve first or consciously do. It's totally coherent. Andreas thinking, I want to go right, and then walking left. That's it. It's coherent. There is no one who has to I want to go left, but I'm going right. How can I make this coherent for me? Oh, it's
Yeah.
already coherent.
Yeah. I guess my questions are, they have erased. I mean, they were already erasing on their own, like, but I have to have, I have to do these questions, ask him these questions. But but they were all about different the therapies, as I said. What is it?
Mhm.
Memory. What is memory? Memories. What is memory?
Well, memory is also an appearance. It just appears. Me remembering a moment from my childhood is what seems to be happening. And this thing, having an insight, ah, that's why I behave like this, is what seems to be happening. There is just nothing, or there's just no one who can take a deeper truth out of that. That's the thing. When there would be a me, there would be this insight. Ah, that's how it is. And the person would take it personally and would think, oh, I'm a step further on my path towards enlightenment. Thinking that having this insight is not enough yet. The person would be happy about this insight, but only because it thinks, okay, now I progress. It can't see the wholeness of purely having this insight. That's all.
So actually, would be the contracted energy that feeling of not enough that the contractor energy would have is the difference. The only
Yes,
difference.
exactly.
Mm,
This,
mm,
this energetic assumption that one day I'll be fulfilled
mm,
by having my whole childhood healed, by having enough money, by whatever. And in this energy, there is this instant rejection of saying it's not enough yet. There
mm.
can be the greatest insight, and subtly the person would have the impression, but it wasn't it. It wasn't the total insight.
Yeah, yeah. There's still something missing.
Yeah. So even the good things are rejected. It's not only the bad things, it's also the
Yeah,
good things.
yeah.
Uh,
But anyway, even that is what happened.
Even that's what happens, and even that is whole and complete, but also not for someone. That's the thing. It'll never become whole and complete for me. Also, the absence of a me doesn't mean that there is a feeling of fulfillment. I
Mm,
don't experience more fulfillment than anyone else. That just doesn't exist. There just is no one.
right. So I heard a Spanish woman. I sent you the link. Remember?
Yeah,
I've been listening to few of her videos, and in one of them she says, "Well, here I still like angels and fairies and all these other things. Seems that there is a liking of all these things here.
yeah, at
Like,
least of the ideas of them,
yeah,
or little figures, or
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, and I listen to say, what is she talking about? And then yeah, because that is what's happening.
that's
Could
what's
be anything.
happening. Yeah, I also prefer some movies over other movies, or
Yeah,
that's
yeah, could be anything going on.
exactly. I mean, the only thing is, it's a bit difficult because, of course, those things aren't really going on.
Right.
So I don't really like some movies over others. That's just what seems to be happening. And I'd love to decorate my flat with little angels and angels on the wall. And if I'd like this, fragrance, that would just be what seems to be happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. I'm not walking around telling to myself, this doesn't exist, this is an illusion, this doesn't exist. No, no.
Right. Yes, everything happens in the same way, like emotions or worries and planning and
Yes.
but for no.
In a way, yes. But they are also not driven by this need to find fulfillment.
Mm.
My impression is when there is the personal energy, there is always something slightly neurotic about all those things.
Mm.
Worrying seems to be real, and it shouldn't be there because everything should be good. The person just thinks, I shouldn't worry because in a perfect world,
Yes.
this wouldn't need to happen. Or what was the other thing you mentioned? Worry and
Yeah, planning.
planning. I think the person can also become neurotic about planning because
Yeah.
it's very important. I have to do it because the future has to be good.
Yeah.
And when there isn't anyone, it's somehow, yeah, in that sense, not neurotic anymore, which doesn't make it better. It's not more fulfilling to not be neurotic. It just, yeah, it just wouldn't be that way, that it is driven by this need for fulfillment.
Yes, that it has to be this way, and
And I have to do it, and I have to
yes,
do it all.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. It's my
yeah,
responsibility and things like that.
exactly. It's basically my responsibility.
Yeah. Yet planning happens like having a meeting on Zoom, having to set
Absolutely.
the day and the time and all that.
My
But
life
the
my
yeah,
life is full of planning and schedules and yeah, that's what seems to be happening.
yes, well,
I'm not living in a cave or
what?
I'm not living in a cave or
Yes, of course.
um
Life goes on,
yeah,
like the same for everybody, apparently.
absolutely. Yes. There is
Yes,
nothing else. As we said before, there is nothing else than the appearance of life happening.
yes.
Yeah.
So this the I just thought about I know someone that is in the Course of Miracles. You heard about that book?
Yeah.
So when we talk about this, this person says, "Well, but in the meantime, I do this, the Course of Miracles. Like how could it be? You have to forgive. You have to, which is also what's happening, right?
Yeah, it's what's happening, but it seems to come out of this illusion to be someone.
Yeah,
Yeah. So she thinks
nothing wrong.
she or well, no, nothing is right or wrong,
Right.
but it's part of a dream that there is someone and that there is something called in the meantime, I have to do something.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
there's something, whatever, but that is the illusion, and it's suffering. Of course, if you go through life thinking that you constantly have to accept it because it's so wrong, well, okay, I don't care, but it, but it's a dream. You don't have to accept life. It's whole and complete already.
Yeah. So whatever it happened is it went on, it went on. Whatever when doesn't matter. And if at this moment it happens a release of some kind because I'm going through a forgiveness process, that is also what's going on.
Yeah.
Only that it's not for no one, right?
Well, yes, exactly. But of course, when there is no one, this whole dynamic wouldn't really happen. you know,
Yeah.
to forgive someone.
It will not be the feeling of the need.
Well, the need, and there wouldn't be anyone there having this experience. The whole thing just wouldn't make sense, really.
Mm.
And I don't mean intellectual. You know, it's not that it intellectually doesn't make sense. There wouldn't just be anyone here who would know what forgiving would mean. Who would forgive? What would be forgiven? You know,
Right. Yes.
this energetic feeling wouldn't be there even.
Yeah, because in that at that point of the need of forgiveness, automatically there is two.
Exactly.
Then one to forgive and
Exactly.
one that forgives.
This whole story already comes from a personal energy. That's why one can't really do it with logic. You know, one can't say in that sense really, oh, but there can be going to a forgiveness course and you could forgive your mother. There just wouldn't be anyone there doing it. No, I would say when there is no one, this whole feeling of, yeah,
It's gone. Yeah, it's not
collapses.
there. It's
Yes,
nowhere to be find it.
exactly.
The need.
And
Yes.
not because it's wrong. Forgiveness courses aren't wrong. It's it's totally fine. I think it just wouldn't happen when this illusion collapsed.
We and this is another thing, so over there, with all the things that are happening now in the world, with the war here, the migration, the money, this and that, do you have any feelings of getting involved with that? It's like something that yeah, involved, feeling anger or about what's going on, or fear or things like that. Do they happen there?
Well, sometimes, I mean, I'm not constantly concerned or something, but yeah, sometimes there can be concern. Sometimes there is a curiosity or a fascination about all of this. And I mean, here where I live in Germany, the situation is still kind of okay, you know, but if this would be a war zone, or I mean, I think 1,000 kilometers away from here, there's the Ukraine war.
Mm.
Probably more feelings of concern would happen. Oh,
But
um,
no, I like the word you used before, hysterically.
oh no, oh no, no, there's no, it's not serious.
Yeah.
Including my reactions, they're not. There is
It's like
no,
a question mark. It's like a question mark.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, fascination and openness, a curiosity, an interest to a
yeah.
specific.
So after this something that happened here, which I don't know what it is, happened, I stopped listening to this message, which I was listening to it every day, participating at 6 o'clock in the morning. You may remember that I was like in my bed sleeping to every Zoom. I stopped listening this message. And I started say, well, what do I do now? Because I live alone, so I just listen to some videos. So I started to listen all kind of things like audiobooks, news, how to things like, and I said, I have this feeling of curiosity, like, oh, how this work. It's like it was like a freedom of having to listen to something that will awaken me
Mm.
somehow to, oh, finally I can do something else that I want to. like like listening to how to build the house, in a certain way, or use a tool or something like that.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, it's all
Yes.
fine. There's nothing in non-duality to gain.
Yeah.
And watching a video about building a house is as much whole and complete as listening to a non-duality meeting. It's free. It's really.
But I was doing it from a necessity before. Well, then I listen to once in a while, or when we do the Zoom meetings, or I've been doing interviews with others because I always had this, as you know, to have this message into Spanish for the people back in my country or other countries that were Spanish speaking. But it's not a, before I felt it like a need, like I have to, because something has to,
to come out of it.
I need to get something out of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the freedom that anything can happen, but nothing is needed.
Yeah.
And there is no distinction anymore between non-duality and or spiritual or normal, ordinary. It's just all what seems to be happening. There are no levels of importance and meaning anymore. Watching TV, as I said, watching TV is as whole and complete as watching this meeting. But it's also the other way around. Watching this meeting is as whole and complete as watching TV or going to walk.
It's part of what is at the moment.
And it's fine. It's not. It's whole and complete, exactly as it is. Exactly what happens is whole and complete.
For everyone. For everyone.
Yes, for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Without having an experience of it. Without there being someone realizing it. Yeah.
Oh, I don't. My list of questions is gone.
Cool.
Okay. So have a nice day.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice day too. Thanks a lot. Lovely to chat.
Lovely to chat with you as well. Okay, so I will stop the recording. I don't know how to, but I will find out.
Yeah.
Pausar grabación.